Happy 4th of July, everyone. Now maybe you're wondering the exact history of why we celebrate the American 4th of July. Well, that's why I'm here, Jono, the history professor here at Taco University, and I'm going to be teaching you exactly what happened that led up to the American Revolution and the Declaration of Independence, which is all celebrated on July 4th. So what happened with the Declaration of Independence, and why do we celebrate the 4th of July? Well, basically what happened was on July 4th, America sent a big fat middle finger straight over to King George and said, "Screw you, we're our own country now." Okay, I hear you wondering, then why did we send that in the first place? Why don't we like King George? He seems like a pretty nice guy. Why do we want to kill him? It all started because Mr. King George started taxing us free Americans over products such as paper and tea and things to British people. What did they import here? There's paper, tea, and I think that's it. They just taxed paper and tea, that's it. But us Americans, we didn't want to have to pay extra for that. We decided to cast a black ritual onto King George. And what we did to cast this was, while wearing our tribal feathers, a few of our most trusted people marched right into the boat, and we dumped all of Britain's blood into the sea, where we just dumped crates of it. Crates of Britain's blood straight into the ocean. And while wearing our tribal feathers, we screamed and yelled, "Screw you, King George," and that officially cast the spell. This spell would allow America to triumph in any way possible over Britain, and it continues to this day. So after we cast this curse onto Britain, our Continental Congress, the first of its kind, gathered in Philadelphia with 56 delegates representing every colony. Except for Georgia, because screw Georgia, you suck, Georgia! These delegates included popular people of the time, basically the celebrities of America: Patrick Henry, Samuel Adams, George Washington, and Kim Kardashian. And these great leaders of their time met in Philadelphia, and they started discussing exactly what we had to do to get rid of this whole Britain problem, now that we were officially better than them, because of the curse we cast. And then started the American Revolution. Now this revolution of America is one of the greatest wars of all time, because it led to the greatest country of all time. Screw you, Britain! First battles of the war were the battles of Lexington and Concord, which were both in Massachusetts, and it was between the British Army and us Americans. Armed with a beer can and eagles, us Americans demolished the British Army. It was an easy battle. Boom, boom, everyone in Britain was dead, except for everyone that was in Britain. And who can forget the brutal winters of Valley Forge, where Mr. George Washington himself oversaw the army for a horrible, horrible winter. But after this horrible, horrible winter, 3 years later, General George Washington met Charles Cornwallis, some weird British general dude, I don't know, in battle, fist to fist, in the middle of Yorktown. George Washington took a sweet punch to the throat, but he quickly recovered and slapped Cornwallis straight across the face. He then pummeled Cornwallis almost to death, until Cornwallis said, "Please, sir, you're infinitely better than me in every way possible, and my country. Britain sucks, America's the best, woohoo, go America." And at this point, a year later, the Continental Congress adopted the Declaration of Independence to send a big screw you over to King George, and said, "We are a country, we are the best country, you will never defeat us. Goodbye." This Declaration of Independence was signed by many important people at the time, including George Washington, Mr. George Washington, and of course, the most probably famous guy of the time, the smelly chicken guy that lived down the road. And thus is the story of the American Revolution. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you want to see more videos like this, leave a like. If you liked it, leave a comment. If you want to comment. And of course, as always, I don't know, I haven't said anything as always, so happy 4th of July, goodbye.